We'll wait another minute or two and then we'll get. All right, we'll go ahead and start. Good morning. How's everybody? I'm missing winter break just a little bit. Anybody else?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, it was hard to get up this morning. I was telling my class before this, my little kids don't start until Wednesday, so they were happy to rub that in my face. They didn't have to get up this morning, fine. But anyway, I'm glad you're all here. Welcome. Human Sexuality is our class. Anyone first? It's your first class of the semester? Starting it with sex. I like that. All right. There's so many of you. It's exciting. I taught this class last semester when we had 16. So it's nice to have so many people in here. And my class before full too. Sorry, a few of you get to have repeats today. I had a few people follow me from one or the other. But our plan for today, just let this, there we go. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Kind of introduce myself. I'll have you all introduce yourselves as well. We'll talk about the syllabus. We'll do some getting to know you kind of a activity icebreaker for some candy. It is late. Candy time. It is late, right? My first piece of candy came at 7:45 this morning. So it's totally like heart of candy time. We'll talk about the textbook, the website, a couple of things related to that. I'll give you a very brief little homework assignment. We'll take attendance and then we'll call it a day. All right, so that's the plan. And I'm going to start with telling you a little bit about myself. Sometimes I think that comes off the wrong way, but it's just my way of easing into it. You're going to be staring at me for a while. So I want to make sure that you know a little bit about me. I hope I get to know a little bit about all of you as well. Bear with me, I'm so bad with names, but I will try. I will definitely give it my best. So as far as my background goes, I started at a community college down near San Diego. I'm from San Diego area. I went to Miracosta for 2 years. And then one day at a college fair, I saw a picture that looked like this. And I was like, well, that looks really pretty. And I went there because of the beautiful green trees and nothing else. Everyone always like smiles at me when I say I went to Humboldt State, but I went there for the greenery that is the beautiful redwoods, right? And if you don't believe me, right, I just got a tattoo and it has redwoods on it. So there's my proof, right? But I went to Humboldt State. I have a bachelor's in psych. I have my master's in counseling psychology. So I'm trained as a therapist. I did 1,500, it's actually closer to 1,600 hours before I switched over to teaching. So I have a strong background in counseling, but I actually have a really strong background in sexuality as well. So I have a minor in human sexuality, I have a minor in women's studies, I have a minor in gender studies, and I have a minor in multicultural diversity studies. So lots of minors. I didn't want to quit school. I just wanted to keep going so that I would have student loans forever. But I love this topic. I love this class. I think it's a really fun, interesting topic. I'm excited to have you all to go through it with me this semester. So that's my education. I did counseling for like a year or so, and I was teaching part-time at the same time. And I found that I really looked forward to teaching. And so I kind of moved in that direction. I've been teaching now for about 14 years, 14, 15, somewhere in there. I taught up in Humboldt at College of the Redwoods in Humboldt State for a little while. And then I got a full-time teaching job in beautiful, sunny, conservative Southern Colorado. So we moved to Colorado for a year and then quickly came back to California. I didn't fit in there. That's okay. I didn't know that I could make an entire restaurant go silent by walking in it. It was exciting. I'd walk into Chili's and the whole restaurant would go quiet. I mean, this was 10 years ago, so or 14 years ago. But I'm very happy to be here at Moorpark College here in California. I've been here for 14 years. I'm fully tenured. I have a class downstairs. Yes, I'm an office downstairs. Where you can find me. I have office hours and stuff. I'm there a lot. So I'm very lucky to be here. I love this school. A little bit more about me. I think this is like sums me up in one collection of images, just to give you a little bit of who I am as a person. I am obsessed with escape rooms. Anyone in here do escape rooms? Yeah? How many, do you know how many you've done?
Oh,
A lot. I've done 101.
oh.
I know. I really love them. Right? Do you have a favorite?
To my birthday recently, it was called, it's like in Oxnard, and it's called Red Door Escapes, I think it is.
I've never.
It was the prettiest escape, like it was, we did like the fantasy one, it was like one of the nicest ones I've ever seen decorated, like, and also the puzzles were crazy. You should really go.
Oh, I just wrote it down.
Yeah, Red Door Escapes.
Red Door Escapes.
Fantasy.
Amazing. Anybody else have a favorite one that you've done like in the area? I'm obsessed with them, right? It's a wonderful application of psychology and they're just so much fun to do. Are you sure? Human sexuality? Okay, no worries. All right. He took one look at me and left. No, I'm good. That's all right. Okay. So I love escape rooms, probably one of my favorite things in the world. I love the outdoors. I love to camp. I love to go up to the mountains. I love s'mores. I changed my whole life this year. I had a peep s'more. I've never had one before and it was amazing. Instead of marshmallows, you take a peep. Oh, it's just extra sugar. It was amazing, like life-changing. But I love the camp. I love s'mores. I love football. Any other football fans in here? One hesitant hand. All right. I'm so sorry in advance. You only have like one more month of me talking about football, but I love football. I play a lot of fantasy football. I'm in 3 leagues. I came in first, third, and fourth. I have a trophy on my desk if you'd like to come see it. It's on loan. I only get it for 1 year unless I win it next year. Right? But I love football. I like the Dodgers as well when we get there. I'm a huge fan of the holidays, especially Halloween and the fall. Sadly, we're moving into the spring. Everyone's like, the days get longer. It's not my favorite, but that's okay. I love the fall. I love movies. I try and bring a lot of like movie examples into this class. There's so many things in pop culture related to human sexuality and psychology in general, which is fantastic. I love to go on cruises. It's my like favorite thing in life. If I could just do one thing for the rest of my life, I'm a really good eater. And so cruises are so much fun, right? I'm going on one in 72 days. I'm counting down, right? And then another one in November, right? So excited. So cruises are like my favorite thing. You can gain 7 pounds in a week. It's like a pound a day. I can do that, right? Great food, right? The first day they have a cake bar. I'll focus, but I love cruises. I play the guitar. I gave a couple of shows that I'm a huge fan of, along with coffee and cake to round me up, right? So just a little bit about me. I'm sure you will get to know me a little bit as we go through. I tell a lot of random stories and I'll tell you whatever's on my mind, which hopefully isn't obnoxious. It's more like endearing, but hopefully I get to know you as well. Last thing I will share with you about myself is that I have 8 beautiful children and I like to show them off because I can, right? So here are 5 of them. You're like, how do you still have hair? Right? 5 of them, right? So Oso, my derpy little dog up here. That's Oso, my boy. I love this cat so much. He's a 2-hander, like huge fat cat, right? His name's Rolly. I love him. Rolly from like 101 Dalmatians of like, I'm hungry, mother, because he's always hungry. This is Binks. Focus, focus. We got him the day before Halloween. Whiskey, Whiskers, Tennessee, if we're going with his full name, and Squash / water bottle. My kids named her Squash Carrots Water Bottle. I don't sure they were like 2 when they named her. So water bottle. So we go Squash, right? The one girl up here. But 5 of my children, I probably won't ever talk about them again, but I will talk about my other 3 children, my 2-legged children. This is Kaya. She is 11. And I'll share with you, kind of my journey of how we had our kids when we get to the pregnancy unit. I think it's really kind of relevant to what we're talking about here. I did not carry them, more on that later. I missed my opportunity to eat for more than one, but that's okay. But this is Kaya, my sweet child who just texted me and said, don't forget to tell them that your favorite color is brown. My favorite color is brown, right? I met my quota. Kaya, she's 11, going on 17. She says, love is gross. I will hold on to that as long as that lasts. She said she's going to be a single Pringle and love is gross. So I'm like, all right, you hold on to that, Angel. 2 years from now, I doubt that will be the case. But Kaya, and then I have twins that are 9. This is Emma, who just sent me a text saying she's dreaming about setting schools on fire. She is my reason for going to the principal's office. But Emma, my sweet otter loving, middle child, she's 60 seconds older than her twin sister, Paisley, who asked me where we were going to dinner. So there's my gamut, right? One said they like to burn things. One said when's dinner, and one said tell them your favorite color, right? So this is Paisley. And again, I'll probably talk about them a little bit because they're pretty relevant. My pets, maybe not so much, sadly. Right? But that's my family. That's a little bit about me. I'm going to have you do something that I know people hate. And I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Don't glare at me. I'm going to have you introduce yourself for a moment. Okay? This is someone who just like made complete lack of eye contact. They're like, I'm leaving. I'm out. I understand. I hate doing this as well. I actually hate public speaking. You probably never guessed that, but I understand, but it's important. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do from your seat, you don't have to get up. You're going to tell me your name, your major, if you have one, and if you don't, that's totally okay. It's the whole point is to find out, right? And then your favorite food or favorite restaurant, keeping it low stakes here. It can be favorite food, favorite restaurant. And my point of doing this, I do it in every class, is because I want you to know that you can talk in me. Okay, I'm forcing you to do it once in hopes that you do it again. Again, right? But at least once. Some of you, this might be the only time you ever say anything. I hope that's not the case. But I'm going to start over here with you in just a second, just to give you that warning. But your name, your major if you have one, and then your favorite food or favorite restaurant. So we can all get hungry in and out of in 17 minutes. I'm just kidding, but not really, right? Not really. All right. So I'll have you start.
I don't even know you first.
Oh, sorry.
So, sorry for being late, by the way. I got here really early. So I don't know what I was doing. But I'm Ben. So I'm actually going to a different school for hypnotherapy. So I'm doing this for kind of the social aspect because the school that I go to is all online. So I'm in my internship, I'm seeing clients, so I figured this would be kind of fun and just a way to meet people, so.
Amazing.
Oh, and food, I like ethnic food, I guess, anything with a lot of flavor.
Great.
But I don't know if I have like a favorite restaurant there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
My name is Sam. I major in psychology, so yeah, take this class.
Okay.
My favorite food is probably like udon noodles.
Okay.
I'm Andy. My major is sociocultural anthropology. My favorite food is probably poke. I love Poke Land, has the best, most affordable poke, I'd say, in this area.
Nice, you got a 2-for-1, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, of course, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. And I think my favorite restaurant would have to be Sumo Sushi in Newberry because I think it has the best garlic ramen that's actually garlicky and spicy and doesn't overpower chicken.
Nice, love it. And we'll go in the back and work away.
Yeah, the journalism major here, but it's kind of broadcasting and media studies. My favorite restaurant is the one that I work in, which is South Lodge and favorite restaurant was I'm an English major, and favorite food was probably consciousness.
Hi, my name is Faith. I'm also sorry for being late because I got lost. I'm double majoring in acting and psychology and the restaurant probably right now is also.
As you're all listening, it's all I can do is let's go. Yeah. All right, we're going.
I'm a psychology major. Favorite restaurant, probably. Favorite food, pasta again.
All right.
My name is Lindsay. I'm majoring in psych, and I want to say my favorite food is like a solid burrito because I feel like not every burrito is as solid as it could be, but like you can't beat a solid burrito. Okay.
I love it.
Research paper and my favorite food is probably just putting junk.
Nice.
I'm here right now. I'm on the transfer maybe food disorders.
Okay.
And my favorite food is college.
And she's your own business maybe. I think that's nice. If then we'll go in the back. You're going.
Okay. So I go by parents with Sarah. I'm a psych major and my favorite restaurants actually closed. Oh no. But it's gone plenty of Cambria. This is like really fun.
Okay. Okay.
My name's Brady. I'm a psych major here, and my favorite one is affordable.
It was like a little commercial. Let's go. All right. Go.
Hello, my name is Gabriel and I'm a biochem major. Favorite restaurant? My favorite food's chicken, so KFC.
All
I'm
right.
not a very fancy dude. Keep it simple.
I don't care. All right. Yeah.
Summer, I'm a psych major. I don't really have a favorite food because I love to eat. But my favorite restaurant has to be the Korean barbecue place on Taco Street.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It always smells so good.
My name's Darren, I'm a psychology major. Like I said, pizza in your first class.
Yeah.
Change it up slightly. California burritos, especially like San Diego area, like all the time.
You're like, yes. All the burrito fans are nodding with you. I love it. All right. Burritos and pizza. I got it. Yeah. All right.
sweets and a big fan of popsicles.
Okay.
I'm Stag. I am knocking off some prereqs. I started the NFT program at CLU in the fall. I like all food. I have no preference. I mean, I'm like Vietnamese, can't wait to.
Sounds good.
Katie, I'm a psychology and English double major and food. Chocolate.
Mhm.
Taylor, I'm a psych major and my favorite food is pasta.
Awesome.
Monica, psych major, my favorite food, I'll change it up too. My favorite food would be Mediterranean.
Nice.
I'm Sabrina. I'm a psych major and I love chicken pad thai. It's my favorite.
Nice. Nice.
I'm Jacob, I'm a psych major, and I'd say my favorite restaurant is Follier Art in Canoga Park.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Michelle. I'm a social major and I love chicken sandwiches.
Mhm.
I'm Monica, my major is psychology and my favorite is
Nice.
I'm a major of also psychology and my favorite food is also.
Nice. You sat right next to each other. Perfect. Right.
Denny, I'm a psychology major and my favorite food is probably salmon sashimi. My favorite restaurant was Pokestop, but it closed. Yeah.
All right. We go ahead.
Sure, May. I already graduated with my degree in bio at CPP. I'm also getting my prereqs for an MFT program.
Nice.
And my favorite restaurant is the Solid Twist. It's Indian food. It's on the Channel Islands River. If you want to get into it, definitely check it out. And I love chicken.
All right. Sorry to put you on the spot since you just walked in, but your name, your major, and your favorite food or restaurant.
Psychology. And I think my favorite restaurant would have to be Cheesecake Factory.
Nice. All right. We had a cheesecake person over there somewhere, right? Then. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you all. And I know I didn't give you a choice, but thank you anyway, right? I love that you shared that. I'm hungry now, ready for some food. But again, please, as we go through this semester, I know that the topics in this class can sometimes be intimidating for people and the terminology and the words and everything in here, but I really hope that you all ask questions and tell stories. I always learn random things in this class and I look forward to that. So I hope that I learn from you and you learn from me and we have a really wonderful environment in here. So please talk again. I hope that you do. You did it once, you can do it again, right? All right, let me hand out the syllabus and we can talk about that a little bit. We'll say goodbye to Paisley here and go to the textbook page, but let me give you the syllabus. And I'm not going to go over everything in here, but I do want to make sure you know what to expect. And if you have any questions at any point during it, please feel free to ask. You're welcome.
I love this stuff.
Oh, thank you. I just bought it literally like a week ago.
Well, it's.
Yeah, it itches. Do you need one more? Okay, so let's go through this together. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So human sexuality, you have the time, the day, the class location. All of you did great with that. Nicely done. And don't worry if you were late. I know a few of you were first day. It's a lot to find where you're going, from parking. It's okay. So my name is Elisa Setmire, right? You can call me Elisa if you'd like to. That's totally fine if you want to bring my first name. Most people call me Setmire or Professor Setmire. Any of those are fine. My office is right downstairs at HSS 109 or HM 109. They're used interchangeably now, which I know is a little confusing. But it's downstairs. It's the one with all the football stuff in the window. I have a phone number and an email. My email is always better than my phone. I'm not the best at answering my phone. I know I'm not alone on that. So if you need something, you can come meet me. Emailing me is always going to be the fastest. I check my email constantly. Okay, so if you need to get a hold of me, that's always going to be the best one. Yeah.
You prefer like Gmail or?
Either is fine. It doesn't matter. Sometimes the system will kick Gmails out, but you can give it a try. Whatever one you're going to check and respond to is totally. And you can email me through Canvas or just this email. They go to the same place for me. So either is fine. There's some information here about the dean, the department chair, the office for our division, a little description and objectives. We're going to cover the range of human sexuality topics. And we're going to talk about anatomy. We're going to talk about research. We're going to talk about gender. We're going to talk about sexual expression. We're going to go over everything, right, related to human sexuality. So you can kind of look over that on your own, but that's what you can expect to cover in here. The textbook. Okay, so we will be using a textbook, or I will be using one. I would really recommend that you get it if you can. This is the one that I'm using. It's the newest one. It's the best option. I don't think it's that expensive. Has anybody purchased it? I'm saying not that expensive relatively for psychology books. Do you know what you?
Yeah, renting it is, I paid like 107.
Okay.
For renting the physical copy.
Sure.
But the digital copy is some like 50, and then the buying it is closer to 200.
Okay, and sad to say that that's not that bad, right? Textbooks are awful. I'm sorry, right? I went through many years of it too, right? But anyone else get the book? Anyone else have a different, like where you got it or how much it was? Yeah.
I got access to it online.
Okay, okay. So do a little research before you buy it. The textbook store isn't always the cheapest place to buy it. I didn't say that, right? I'll get in trouble for that. But make sure you look online. If you can't afford the newer edition, the older one will work. Everything won't match up, but it's several years old, so it will be quite a bit cheaper. I would rather you have that than nothing, but there will be plenty of times where I don't cover everything, where maybe instead of me lecturing on a unit, we watch a film or do an experiment or some kind of activity. And in those cases, the book becomes really helpful and important, right? So try and get one of these. If you can afford it, this is the easier one. It will match up to what I'm doing, but that one will work too, right? It's just a few years older. I would also recommend that you download these two apps. You're welcome to do it now if you would like to. The internet in this building, the Wi-Fi is shamefully bad. So you could always do it later. But Canvas, we will be using Canvas. I'll send you announcements and reminders on there if you have the app. It's really convenient. We'll be using Kahoot. We'll use it next class, actually, as a quick little like review game. So if you can download these two apps, that would be amazing. You are more than welcome to bring your computers or tablets or whatever to class if you want to take notes on them and use them. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I would also recommend that you have something to take notes. You could use a computer with internet. You could use paper, whatever works for you, but something to take notes, I'd recommend as well. And at some point you will need the internet, that you could always use a computer on campus if you don't have that at home. Okay. Anything so far? Any questions at all so far? I'll talk more today in like one long thing than I ever will again, but we'll get through it together. Yeah. You can just use a website. That's totally fine. I think the app makes it easy, but it doesn't. Right? And we won't use it a lot, but we will use it a couple of times. Anybody else for now? Yeah.
Do you know where else I can get the book? Like, do you know, because you said the textbook places, and of course
isn't always the best. Yeah.
But I would like to afford to get it for cheaper if I could. So do you know where else I could look?
Does anyone have a suggestion? Yeah.
It's with ads, but it's free.
Oh,
The whole book is free.
Yeah.
that's amazing. Everybody's like, wait, what? How do you spell that? I'll write it up here.
Yes.
Y-U-N.
You. Or M. M.
All right. But I mean, that's great. So obviously do some looking around, but that's amazing. I mean, any opportunity you can have to pay less for something is fantastic. So,
Piracy's the answer.
right, yeah. I mean, not to encourage it that, right? We have to be careful with everything, right? But I mean, you can find it used, you can rent it, you can do a loose leaf copy, you can see if you can find it free. I have one on reserve in the library as well, but you can't check it out for more than like an hour or two at a time. So you have options. So definitely like put in the ISBN, look around, and you can always even do the older one, which I saw really cheap. It was like $3 or $4 for a paperback because it's old. So you have choices. Anybody else? Any other questions for now? Okay, let's go to the second page in. All right, so some like policies, codes of conduct kind of things. I'm going to skim over this, but some highlights here. We will have a couple of homework assignments in here that we'll do. You'll have 2 of them. I think they're a lot of fun. Most of them are like a field trip or an activity with a paper. So maybe like going to a sex shop, going condom shopping. There's a few of them. You can go get tested for STIs. There's like 15 of them, right? We'll talk about those a little bit in like a week or 2. But there will be some assignments in here. In general, things need to be turned in on time, right? In general, when we have exams, you need to take it that day. But I do accept some of the homework assignments late at a penalty of 10% per day. But you have all the deadlines already, so just try and plan for them, try and get things in on time. Please don't copy or cheat. Give me all of your own beautiful work and it will be great. There are harsh consequences for those 2 things, so just please let's avoid them. There's some stuff about Title IX, sexual misconduct, and smoking. I have those policies on here if you'd like to look them over. I mentioned this earlier, but I really want this to be a wonderful, like, safe environment for all of you. Again, there's a lot of very sensitive topics that we're going to cover, but I want you all to feel like you can share. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel like included. Okay, so let's just do ourselves a favor and try and create that environment in here together, right? Please try not to talk over me when I'm lecturing. We'll have lots of like group activities. I'll ask for your questions and feedback constantly, but try not to talk over me. It gets loud so fast. Try to be here on time. I know this week is a little chaotic, but as we settle in, try and be here on time, plan to stay the whole time. If you do need to leave early, like you know that you need to leave early, maybe let me know so I don't think I offended you or something when you get up and leave. Your phones, mine's out, it's on. It will always be out and on. Baskin Robbins just sent me a message. It's like, how did they know? I was thinking about ice cream, right? Anyway, mine will always be out and on. So you're welcome to have them. We will use them at times. Just obviously try and keep it quiet and try and keep it to a minimum. The more you're texting or looking at fantasy football scores, the less you're paying attention. So just try and minimize it as much as possible, but I don't mind that they're out or on, or if you use them. Okay, it doesn't bother me. I won't glare at you if you do. Next page, your grade is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I do this in every one of my classes, attendance and participation. So what we'll have is we'll have 10 random 10-point activities. This might be a little homework assignment. It might be a group project that we do in class. It might be a video that you answer some questions about. In general, if you're here, you can work on them and turn them in. Okay, if you miss a class, you might miss them. Okay, so if you miss a class, really important to reach out to me or a classmate. We'll talk about that more on Wednesday. Because if you miss when they're due, you can always email it to me before it's due if you're going to miss that class. Okay, so there's still some opportunities, but try and be here as much as possible. I really do value getting to see all of you and interact with all of you. I think even more after COVID. I'm just so glad when you're here, right? It's nice to have that interaction. Exams will have 3 tests in here. I started doing this a couple of years ago during COVID, and I kept it because I think it's really nice for lowering anxiety. I think the counselor part of me is always really sensitive to that. So our exams will actually be 100% online. Okay, so on exam days, you won't come to class. The exams will be on Canvas, and you'll have the entire day to take the exam. But you'll have this time free. You can take it right now, or you can take it later in the day if you want to like sleep in and have a nice lunch or whatever, right? But the exams will be online. They'll be on Canvas. You'll be able to use your notes, your book. You really should do really well. My goal with that is just to lower anxiety and allow you to be successful. I haven't made them any harder, right? So most people do really, really well. I'll give you a study guide. You'll know exactly what to prepare. And we'll talk about those more when they get closer. The 3 exams, they will be online. You'll do 2 homework assignments, which I mentioned earlier, kind of little activities with a write-up that go with them. We'll talk about that in like a week or 2. There's a bunch of options on Canvas if you want to kind of check that out. And then we'll do a short closing assignment at the end where you'll write a little paper, kind of reflecting back on 5 things that you can take away and maybe apply or use in your life in some way. Instead of a cumulative final, that will be our kind of cumulative review part. So that makes up your grade. If you have a memo with access, make sure you get that to me as soon as you can so I can get you set up with whatever you need. And you can see the distribution for points, everything's just point based. But are there any questions about the graded stuff? What makes up your grade in this class? Anything from this page for now? All right, there's some student tech support information on there as well. And then let's flip to the back, last page. So you can see our schedule on here. I do pretty good at sticking to it. I've been teaching this class for a long time, so I kind of know, how long each topic is going to take. We might get a little ahead or a little behind, but the days that are in bold will likely not change unless there's some kind of an emergency. So you can see our exam days, which we won't meet in person. You can see the days that we don't have class, which are gray. The one near spring break, that Wednesday, I'll be on a cruise ship thinking of all of you. 72 days. Again, counting down. We count down every morning as a big deal. So you can see the days that the assignments are due, when our final kind of stuff will be. All of that is on here. So hold on to this. We definitely go out of order at times. So I'll let you know, but you have this so you can kind of know what to expect and when things are due. I also put a little statement about COVID on the bottom. I mean, obviously we're getting more and more back to normal, but if there's one thing I've learned these last few years is that things can change at any time. So I'd love to just kind of put this out here. If you're not feeling well, stay home, okay? Whether it's COVID or not, right? Like last semester, we had like a week where we all had to wear masks. I don't know if that'll happen again or not, but if you're not feeling well, just stay home, right? I do record all of the lectures on Zoom. So all it is the screen and my voice. Okay, so, but you can still watch them. I post them on Canvas. So if you do miss, you could watch it. You could get caught up. If there's a homework assignment, you'll know that way as well. So just if you're not feeling well, stay home, email me, right? Or email a classmate, find out if there was homework, get notes from them. But I'd rather you take care of yourself. And I'm going to do the same. So if I ever have to cancel because I'm not feeling well, I'll let you know. I'll send out an announcement on Canvas. Other than that, are there any other questions about the syllabus? Anything else for now? Have any of you been on our Canvas site yet? Yeah, hopefully you got some of the messages that I sent out. So I just want to show you this really quickly. This is our Canvas site, and I'm sorry, they replaced the projector and it cuts off a little bit of it. I hope you can see it enough. But on this site, there's a few things that are helpful for you. So all of the announcements are on here. If I ever cancel a class or want to give you a reminder, this is how I will send it to you. All of our modules as well. So if I click on this, our syllabus is here, the textbook information, all of the study guides for the exams are already up. You can see the homework assignment instructions and options if you'd like to take a look at it and kind of get an idea. There's some student resources and help kind of things. So if you don't know how to set your Canvas notifications, I have that on here. You can set it to text you or email you. There's some information about Twitch and YouTube. These probably won't matter unless something really drastic changes. I do post a lot of videos on YouTube, so not a bad idea to find me on there. At least familiarize yourself with those platforms. How to find your grades, some Canvas information. And then I post all of the slides that we'll use all semester. And they're already on here. Right, so you can see all of the PowerPoint slides for the course. I'll also be posting the recordings of our lectures on here, and this is all technology cooperating, right? Every now and then the internet will go out, so I can't record a lecture, but if everything works, I'll record it, I'll post it right here. If we have any like class videos that we watched, like bigger ones, I'll post them as well. So Canvas is really helpful for those resources. You'll also take your exams on here, which are under the quiz link, and then your grades will be on here as well. So you don't have to use it a lot, but it's there for you. All of these resources are there for you. And I think they'll just be helpful. So maybe check Canvas out if you haven't already. Get that Canvas app, that will be helpful for you. Any questions about this syllabus? Anything for now before we take a break from me talking? It's candy time, I think, in my mind. Any questions? Okay, so we're gonna play. In my other classes, we do like a getting to know you bingo. We're gonna do a human sexuality bingo, just to kind of break the ice on some of the topics that are a little daunting sometimes for people. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand out this sheet. It looks like this. It's a bingo board. And some of you have played bingo with me before. This is a very different bingo, right? Just to like put it out there, box number 1. Right, that's kind of good fun here. What's one slang term for vagina in box number 1? So what you're gonna do, and accidentally you want to interest like class. Do you really want to write that? So sorry, no. This class, yes, I do, right? Spelling doesn't matter. Do your best. If you don't know the answer or you're not comfortable writing an answer, you can write that. That's totally fine. Okay, I hope that we all grow in our comfort, but we start in different spots, and I'm totally aware of that, and I'm fine with it. Okay, so if you are like, I have no idea, write that. If you say, I'm not comfortable in answering, write that. It's fine. If you have more than one answer because you're a Gemini like me, write them both. I'm totally fine with it. So what I want you to do is take a couple of minutes and fill out line number 1 for every box, just line number 1, and then we'll go from there. You should have seen the look on the poor guy's face. He had to come out and say, "Oh, my God." One, two, four. Just line number 1. Line number 1. Right. And again, if you don't know or you're not comfortable, it's completely fine. All right, take a few minutes, fill it out. I'm gonna pass it up. Yeah. So, line number 1. Just line 1 of every box here. Only one? Only line. So not line, not both. No, just line 1. Line 2 is for something in English. Yeah, so just line 1 for every box. Just your answer on line number 1. And don't worry about spelling.
Have one.
And again, it's totally fine to write, I don't know, or I'm not sure, or I don't feel comfortable. If that's where you're at, that's totally fine. couple more minutes and then I'll explain part 2. There's a lot of you look like you're close, so another minute.
Are we supposed to write our name on this?
You don't have to. You're not turning it in. All right, so if you're not quite done, keep working on it. That's totally fine. But let me explain what's going to happen from here. So my point with this is kind of a little bit of an icebreaker, right? And more than getting to know each other, it's just kind of getting some of these things that make us uncomfortable out of the way, right? And we'll do that several times this semester. We'll talk about slang many times. You've already got it right on, the first one there, right? So what you're going to do in a moment is you're going to try and find other people who wrote the same thing as you on line number 1. Okay, that's what line number 2 is. So if you go up to somebody, give me like 1 minute before we start. If you go up to someone and they have the same thing or close, go ahead and count it. You're gonna write their name on line number 2, and then you've captured that square. Okay, so when you have 5 across, down, or diagonal, you have bingo, and you can yell it out or you can just come tell me. And I had to hide it from myself, but I have candy. So when we have, we'll go till we get about 10 or so bingos, and then we'll move on. You can get 2 answers per person. Okay, this one's a little harder to match than others. So I'll allow you to get 2 per person, but not more. Okay, so when you go up to somebody, you'll probably start with the people around you, and then you might have to get up and wander around, which is the hardest part of this by far. But if you get a bingo, yell it out or come let me know. And when we get close to 10, I'll let you know and we'll stop and move on. But go ahead whenever you're ready, write their name on line number 2 if you wrote the same thing. Good luck.
Okay. First of all, what's your name?
Yeah, I know. Maybe this is it. That's so good. Yeah, that's me. Like,
Oh,
oh wait, that's yeah.
So you can keep playing if you want to go for another one. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and grab a piece of candy and then you can keep playing if you want to. Thank you. Uh-huh. See you again. I do. I forgot your name. But I do remember your name. Okay, where are we at? Oh, excellent. Okay, so grab a piece of candy and then you can keep playing.
And we just take.
Yeah, you can take it.
Okay, two comments. Is anyone not yet filled in a way to not get it? You did? What about you? Fill that one in. Something bring it to the board. You got that? Should I-
So.
All right.
So cute.
All right, so let's go. All right, so hopefully you got a chance to get some of those out of the way, right? Again, spelling didn't matter for that. Just kind of a fun little icebreaker. If you're super sad that you didn't get candy, I always have candy in my office. Right now I have so much candy in my office. I've eaten so many pieces of peppermint bark, it's kind of shameful, right? So come say hi to me, it'll help me get to know you. I have candy, right? I'm like, I feel like I'm bribing you. I'm like, I have candy. Right. My children only come to my office for my candy, so it's fun, right? But we will move from there. I have a couple things left and then we'll be done for today. So I want to talk just a little bit about how I teach the class, a couple of reminders, and then I'll give you that homework assignment and attendance. Okay, so a few things. So most days what will happen is, technology willing, I will use PowerPoint and I'll lecture on the topic. So we're going to start on chapter 1 on Wednesday. In a perfect ideal academic world, you would have read chapter 1 or at least like skimmed it before we talk about it, so you know what we're going to cover. It's okay if you don't, but again, try to get the book. Good idea to at least like kind of flip through the chapter so you know what we're going to be looking at, or you can look at the slides that are online. We'll talk a little bit about notes next time before we get going. I use a lot of video clips and songs and things to kind of highlight the topics that we're going through. I love to bring in pop culture references whenever I can. If you ever have a really great example, please send it to me. I would love it, right? So many of my examples come from all of you. You're way more connected to pop culture than I could ever hope to be, unless it's something in the like 9 to 11-year-old region, which might be like all over. 5 Nights at Freddy's. I was so sick of the 5 Nights at Freddy's songs that I could go nuts. But that's all I hear in the car, 5 Nights at Freddy's. But if you ever have a great example, please send it to me if I have time. I'll share it with all of you. I would love that. I'm really laid back in the way that I teach and just who I am as a person. I use a lot of humor. I'll tell you random stories when it may or may not be appropriate. I don't know, depending on the day. But do have high expectations. So when it comes to exams and papers and things that you're turning in, I do want you to put a lot of time and effort and energy into them. But I will always let you know what I'm looking for. I'll always give you a study guide, set you up for success. Just expect that you're reading and putting effort in. I also hope that you know when it's time to like laugh and talk and have fun, and when it's time to kind of be quiet and listen, right? And so I do have some expectations around those things, but I hope this is a fun class. I want this to be fun, right? It's a fun topic. right? Sammy thinks it's gonna be fun, right? Right. I had to ask the dog's name. I was like, oh, so cute. So hard to see a dog and not want to. So we will do lectures most days. There might be some days where we watch a film. And I give you like a worksheet. When we get to the research unit, we might do a little experiment. So we'll kind of mix it up. Again, I don't tend to just straight lecture. I like to break it up with group work, activities, videos, and things like that. Really important, as I mentioned earlier, to be reading the book. In my experience, what I've noticed, people who are reading the book, at least somewhat, tend to do almost a grade level better than those who aren't. And what you'll see when we get to the exams, even though they're open note and open book, is about 10% of what's on the test will be stuff we didn't cover in class. So if you're reading the book, you're getting exposed to that other stuff, versus if you're new. I'm not going to cover everything, right? There will be some stuff that we focus more on than others. And really important that you just communicate with me. If something comes up, if you're sick, if you're struggling with something and it's affecting school, talk to me, right? I'll do what I can to help you, okay? I'm a person too, and I'm here. I have an office, like I said, downstairs, all the football stuff. So just talk to me, communicate with me, and we'll get through it. Hopefully we can get through it together. Okay? I think, I had these up here. Not a huge deal for now. If anything changes, which I really hope it doesn't change ever again, but not a bad idea to find me on YouTube or Twitch. I won't be using Twitch unless for some reason we have to be virtual at some point. Set your Canvas notifications if you can so that you're getting all of my messages. And the last thing that I will do is give you a brief homework assignment. My goal with this is participation number 1. So this is your first 10 points of the semester. Please do it. Start it off strong, right? It's very easy, but my goal with this is to learn your names. I am awful with names, okay? I actually learned 2 years ago that I have something called aphantasia. I didn't know this my whole life. I don't picture things well in my mind, and I had no idea that people didn't see the world the same way that I do. Probably why I went into psychology, right? I have a really hard time connecting things in my head visually. So my goal is to put a name and a face together, right? But I have like over 300 students, 7 classes, so be patient with me. I will do my best. But what I'm going to do is give you an index card. If you lose this, any card is fine, but I want to start you off. And this will be due on Wednesday. And it's your first 10 points. And you can format this however you'd like. You're even welcome to start writing some of this stuff now. I don't mind at all. They can get them out. So
picture has to be recent.
It isn't, but I have people give me baby pictures. Unless you look the exact same, right? Try to give some. And if there are more people than you in the picture, maybe give me like an arrow to which one is who. Still need ones. Did I get back on that? Okay, so I you can format this however you would like. I gave you an example, right? And so what I did is I put my picture, to me on my last cruise on the ruins in Belize. They said every like 3 minutes, it's unbelievable. You won't believe it. I was like, come on, right? But that's me on my last cruise, right? So your name, if you prefer to go by something else, let me know. Put it on here as well. Give me a picture. You can put the picture on the back and it's on the front. Do that, whatever works for you. It can be color, it can be black and white. If other people are in it, that's okay. Just draw something. Put an arrow to yourself. If you find me on YouTube and Twitch, you can put it on there. That was not too pressured. But give me something interesting about yourself. I shared with you earlier. I just got this like 9 days ago, and it itches so bad. But I got a tattoo from my family. My partner and I are the big redwoods, and the 3 little ones for our kids. And it is, right? It took 5.5 hours and it hurt really bad, but that's okay. I love it. Why are you taking the class? Right, so is it interesting? Do you need it for your major? What, right, as a prereq, as a few of you said. And I will collect this on Wednesday, okay? Are there any questions about this or anything at all from today for now? Couple of things then. So obviously don't forget the index card. Try to download the Kahoot and Canvas apps. Try to get your textbook, right? Those are all things to try and do as soon as you can. This will be due on Wednesday, but everything else, start working on that. The last thing I want to do is take attendance. I'll let you have a minute to pack up really quickly. I'm going to put the candy away so I don't distract myself. And then I'll take attendance and we'll call it as a. All right. So I will take attendance this week and next week. We have Monday off, right? Which I'll remind you on Wednesday. We get a holiday just to ease us back into it, like the month, right?
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. So I'll take attendance this week and next week. After that, I'm going to hand around a sheet that will sign in on it. So we won't waste the time with it. But I want to make sure everyone is here. If I don't call your name, if I don't call your name, I'm checking that means you're not on the roster. If I mess up your name, I'm so sorry. I've looked over this like 6 times, but it's gonna happen. With the name like Elisa, I've been called everything remotely close. So if I mess it up, correct me. If you want to go by something else, let me know. Okay, and then. So here we go. Monica?
Here.
Do we have more than one? Yeah. Right. Monica? Charmaine?
Here.
Sabrina?
Here.
Katie?
Here.
Lily?
Here.
Kismo?
You.
Sam?
Here.
Layla?
Here.
Michelle?
Here.
Brady?
Here.
Benjamin?
Here.
Leah?
Here.
Rachel?
Here.
Angelica?
Here.
Irene? Jacob?
Here.
Ethan?
Here.
Drew?
Here.
Andy? Here. Paco? Lindsay?
Here.
Charlie?
Here.
Maya? Maya Mendoza? Keith? Carolyn? That's what you said. Okay, Kirsten?
Here.
Haley?
Here.
Gabriel?
Here.
Summer?
Here.
Danielle?
Here.
Darren?
Here.
Christopher? Christopher Stagman?
Here.
Hannah? Samantha?
Here.
And Susan. Okay, if I didn't call your name, come check with me. If you have questions, come talk to me. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you all on Wednesday. We'll start chapter 1.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, take care.
Until the end of the list, I guess.